In Singapore right now, there are a lot of protections. There are a lot of bank and institutions that have their different protections. But with the rise of, in 2025, we see a rise of frauds, we see a rise of AI, we see a rise of attacks, and the institutions they're not falling up to sleep. Like everything that they have is not enough. Like it's very, very easy to use AI tools. It's really easy to use scams, and it's just not coming up to speed. I mean, there's a big rise, and Appdome is in the forefront of technology. Like we have a lot of customers, we have a lot of mobile end users, and we're basically seeing that there needs to be a change, there needs to be an adapt, and they need to be in front of the curve. I would say that the biggest blind spots are around deepfakes, around banking Trojans, around like mobile identity and really understanding that the user is really the user, and KYC. I think these things are really like rising, and I think it's not very easy to keep in front of them, because with everybody using AI and everybody using stuff, it's not very simple, like to make sure that the user is really the user. And I think that the Appdome products and the Appdome wide variety, like that we've been going up with our API protection and our ID anchor protections, I think they are the ones that really nail together and give the business like the answers to these questions. So the difference between Apple and Google and everybody else is that Apple and Google own the OS. So they actually have access to the IMEI. They actually have access to strong identifiers. So they can do a lot of stuff. All the apps running under the operating system in the user level, they don't have access to those. So they have to just understand what is in the device according to the signals. Appdome built a technology called ID Anchor, and we're basically combining hundreds of signals from all over the OS. We're looking at stuff that can be changed and not changed from the device. And with that, we're giving like the mobile brands mobile unique immutable device identifier. And this immutable device identifier can be used to go and say, is that you? And also to have like a cloud space for device profiling. And then if like a hardware has been used to perform malware or to perform scams for one customer, then Appdome can go and say, okay, this hardware is bad. So you can go and blacklist that hardware, even if you are trying to spoof it, even if you are trying to say, I am not exactly who I am, even if you're using a Huawei device, but we're saying I'm really on a Samsung, then Appdome looks at the true device attributes and is able to go and help the mobile banking basically gain from all of the data that Appdome has. So that is something that a specific brand cannot build by itself. It is something that you need a big coverage. You need to really understand the space. Appdome is installed on 2 billion end users, and we have like a very good penetration rate in all of East Asia, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia. So I think that we have a big advantage over there. So I think it's all about signals. It's all about combining different signals. It's not very easy to figure out from one thing if it's really a fraud or not, because a lot of things can look benign. But if you look at them together, if you combine all the different signals, if you're looking, okay, he also changed his GPS, he also removed his SIM, he's also taking a phone call, he's also something that's using like a Frida or something, then you can combine it together and say, okay, this is an attack, this is not an attack. And it's a very thin line between real users that are using their phone and fraudsters that are not using their phone. And it's a thin line. And you want to make sure that you, one, protect your business, but on the other hand, you don't affect your users that are just trying to use their phone and sometimes doing stuff. So you want to make sure that, one, your app is usable, runs correctly, runs for 99% of your user base. You don't get any pushback from your users that the app is not working. But on the other side, you're really stopping the fraud and really stopping like the hard account takeovers.